everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day, great afternoon, and even great evening. Because I am not at this point. So my other video got copyrighted, and I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna create another video to post instead. And now I was like, okay, let me read a story or people's experiences, and it has literally taken me an hour and a half to find a flipping proper story. Like before this, I made another recording where the story it was a proper story. It felt like a proper story. Only for it, like when I read further down the story, for it to have some parts that I cannot read on YouTube. So that's that. So I guess I had to find another story. And I was like, why don't I talk about mental health discrimination? Because I found this website that said btch.org.uk, and I found a story that said OCD is a severe condition, so use the term seriously. And I realized in this world there are so many people who use terms, they aren't using terms properly. So I guess seeing like what do they think about people using OCD properly, and I feel like I have probably like a 2% OCD listening, but I just want to see whether what she means by it's a severe condition, so we need to use the term properly, because I might learn from this, the one or two people watching this might learn from this. So yeah, let's get right to the video. In primary school, I entered a competition to name a fish, but didn't realize I had to include my own name on the entry. So I entered a fish name on the slip of paper without including my own. But that was wrong. It's like if I didn't repeatedly relive my process for making this mistake, I was going to die. Around this similar time, I developed quite an intense bedtime routine that involved flapping a rug, tucking in my curtains, shutting doors, and shifting pillows down my bed, all in a specific order. If I didn't do this routine, I couldn't sleep because something awful was going to happen. At secondary school, I was relentlessly tormented by friends who thought it was fun to constantly steal my belongings and put pencil sharpeners in my hair. They didn't know that I constantly checked everything I needed for the day, repeatedly counting my positions and checking for contamination on my person, and that the behavior only reinforced my fear of looming disaster. At university, no matter when I started coursework, I had to keep rereading it until the deadline, otherwise I'd definitely accidentally plagiarize and fail my degree. Also, if I didn't constantly check that all my friends were okay, or constantly rereading what I was messaging them, they were going to die and it would be my fault. If I didn't recheck conversations with colleagues in my head, I might forget something I said and something awful will happen. If I don't repeatedly read emails until it feels right, I'll make a mistake and lose my job, starve, and die. If I don't repeatedly check, I shut the fridge, everyone will hate me and then I'll have to leave. And imagine what it's like to try to date people. Understanding OCD. Despite having these kind of symptoms from a young age, I wasn't diagnosed with OCD until 2019 at the age of 22. Even then, I got several but you don't seem like an OCD kind of comments, which probably partly explains why I didn't get diagnosed before. Because people think that OCD is obsessive cleaning or being hyper organized. Thank you. Yes. 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 She's literally answering my questions that I have always had. Always had a thought, like a very small thought that said I was probably OCD with some of the things I did. Using a calculator, even though I'm literally typing 2 times 2 and I know it equals 4 and it's an exam, like I'm gonna type in that 2 times 2 in the calculator to make sure I'm not wrong. But it's nice to know that I don't think I'm crazy by thinking that I might have some OCD-ness in me. But I have haven't been diagnosed with it, so that's why I haven't diagnosed myself, and I don't go around telling people that I'm OCD or anything, or I think I'm OCD or anything. I just keep it to myself because, you know, what's the point in going around? It's not a bragging right. So, OCD. OCD, yeah, hyper-organized, wrong, well, not totally. The disorder can manifest in obsessive cleaning or obsessive organization, but often the compulsion can become more illogical and even eternal. OCD most simply put is an anxiety disorder that involves obsession, i.e. anxiety-inducing thoughts you can't get rid of that lead to compulsions, i.e. actions you absolutely have to do to relieve the anxiety-inducing thought. So in my above fish example, the obsession was the fact I'd made a mistake and I so felt like I would die, and the compulsion was repeatedly running the scenario through my head to check exactly what I'd done to lead to this mistake. How it impacts me personally, this is the form my OCD takes: obsessive checking all day, every day, checking emails, checking doors, checking memories, checking spoken conversation, checking previous social media posts, checking my sent items, checking people are okay, checking I'm doing something right, checking I've cleaned something enough, because in my mind, if I don't check, if I make a mistake, something awful will happen and that will be my fault. So live my life going in circles, both physically and mentally. Sometimes the something awful is a really clear outcome, like someone breaking in and it being my fault, but sometimes it's a sense of intense and specified dread. At the same time as being diagnosed with OCD, I was also given diagnosis of sociophobia and generalized anxiety disorder. So there's a lot of worry fueling my compulsions, mostly in relation to fear of failure, fear of hurting someone, and fear of being judged. I'll have an anxiety attack and hysterically sob if my hot water stops working or the washing machine breaks, because these things are essential to some of my compulsions. But that does not make me weak or incapable. My brain is just wired with an overactive flight response. Naturally, I'm actually highly independent and a great problem solver. But sometimes my OCD have its moment of anxiety, running the worst possible scenarios through my brain on loop until it feels right. To reassure my heightened sense of responsibility, this is particularly challenging at work, as some tasks can really trigger my checking or make me seek additional reassurance. Part of the condition can be doubting you even have the condition, which makes it really easy to downplay the issue and really easy for other people to belittle your experience. Now I'm on medication, for example. It's particularly challenging to convince myself that it's my OCD talking. Everybody gets anxious, that's our fight or flight response, and is perfectly healthy. But not everybody experiences an anxiety disorder where your flight response trips and you're scared of the most illogical of things and unable to shake that feeling. Language has an impact. Many of us have said, "Oh, I'm so OCD," when we really just mean we like to keep things tidy and organized. But I hope my blog shows why it's important to avoid this language. Trivializes the severe anxiety disorder that can make life pretty difficult. I understand the person quite a lot. If a word is being used incorrectly quite a few times, it can belittle the true meaning of the word. So someone saying they're OCD when they're clearly not OCD, and people look at this person and be like, "Oh, you're doing this, oh, you're doing this, and oh, you're doing this," which is normal, and the person may not be OCD or not. And then when a real person who's OCD has shown signs of OCD is then not helped by the people around them, and their situation is not taken care of properly, just because of the fact that lots of people like to claim they're OCD when they're not, and then people have this mentality that the disorder itself is not serious, and second of all, the people who actually have the disorder. Yeah, I hope you guys like this video. And please don't forget to at least like it. And you don't have to subscribe. I understand if you haven't subscribed because I'm still new. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. 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 Bye.